Welcome to Root in Yeshua. I want to share a fun topic about what the world just experienced regarding the World Cup. So let me get my glasses on. Well, let me say this. I was never a soccer fan, but I do appreciate the passion that a lot of people put into their home countries and as they watched this sport, especially that it came to America and was able to be on TV and people were able to see their favorite teams play. But I have a few issues with soccer, but this is not the format for all of those issues. One of them is the offsides thing is really ridiculous. But the biggest one that I have a problem with is the flopping. And there was an article that I read, but it's interesting. Flopping isn't only in soccer. Flopping happens in life. And I wanted to just share a few things. Too many players, when they get tackled, fall to the ground and act like they've gotten shot. And they roll around in fake pain. And it's pretty comical. It's actually pretty embarrassing, man to man. There's no way you would catch me doing that. I couldn't even pretend to fake an injury. When you're hurt, you're hurt. And I say a lot of these guys couldn't handle the NFL or college football. They wouldn't survive because if you touch them, they'd have to be taken off on a stretcher. And that is just, of course, laughable, but yet silly. So but the point of all this is flopping has become a lack of manhood. And it shows the lack of toughness in some people. It also shows how people have taken, the parallel is how people are taking, when people take offense to something, they roll around and act like, oh my goodness, you've offended me and all these things when it's really not a big deal. People make a big deal out of something that should never be made into something that gets attention. So this flopping concept, speaking of faking injuries, is the always pending, like the climate crisis, which is nonsense, a bunch of stuff that's nonsense. And when people especially I'm not a LeBron James fan, but when he doesn't get the fouls he wants, he acts like you have offended him deeply, that he should get every call because he's the king. In life, you and I can't go around flopping when people do things that we don't appreciate. You have to accept it, brush it off, let it go, and move on. I had someone do something to me yesterday in the business world that was inappropriate and disrespectful, but I have to let them go and move on. We have to learn how to handle our business and not do it where we're drawing attention to ourselves and saying, look at me, I'm a victim now. All these guys and gals in soccer, when they get quote unquote tackled, act like they're a victim. And they're simply not. It's a sports play to try to separate the ball from the player. But in life, you cannot go around letting people affect your day-to-day. When someone does something that you don't like or is wrong, pray for them, let it go, and be the better person. There's so much happening out there in the world that you cannot flop your way through life. I want you to resist the urge to do so because your reputation is based upon how you respond to things, not how you react. When you react, that shows your immaturity, but when you respond in a very adult manner, it shares, hopefully you're reflecting the life of the Lord in you, the character of Christ. But when you're a flopper, you look like you're just so gullible and so easy to poke at. Have a tougher shell. There's people out there who allow everything to affect them, and that's kind of sad. I certainly wouldn't hire somebody like that to work for me. You need to be tough. You need to be able to handle your business and absorb contact. And that's what I would say in sports. These players can't absorb contact. I noticed that this guy named Haaland, who plays for Denmark, I think, he's a big, strong guy, but he can absorb the contact, and they bounce off of him. I know that Michael Jordan, after he was beat up a lot by the Pistons and the Knicks, got into the gym and got tougher, and he absorbed contact. And basically, you couldn't get in Michael Jordan's head. He got in your head. So get in the enemy's head that what he's trying to do to get on you does not affect you. And in doing so, he'll leave you alone because he realizes, I just can't mess with Sierra or Robert or Cheryl or whoever. I can't mess with him. I can't bring silly nonsense because he's not going to flop. So I know this is a fun little take on this, but be who God created you to be. Be the stronger person. So with that, we bless you and we honor you, and we thank you for joining us.